Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Wonderful Wednesdays with Wendy. I am your host, Wendy Wotecki. I am the Parent Support Connector at Mission Empower, which serves as Erie County's Parent Community Support Center. So I have today with me from NAMI of Erie, Mr. Steve. Good afternoon, Steve.
Hi, happy to be here.
Yes, Steve is a recurring guest with us here because mental health is such an important and under-addressed issue amongst all of us. So welcome, Steve. I know today you brought a very near and dear to me, it's like a poem, a little story.
Short story.
Short story that you're gonna talk about real quick. What is it titled?
Welcome to Holland.
Welcome to Holland. So I will share that it was handed to me the day of my daughter's diagnosis. And Steve brought it here because it talks, well, Steve, why don't you go ahead and read it to us, and then we'll continue the conversation about it.
So again, short. So Welcome to Holland. This is by Emily Pearl Kingsley, and it was published in 1987, so it's been around a while, but it's a really good piece and still relevant today. So I mean, it's been great for a lot of families. So just beginning, I'm often just asked to describe the experience of raising a child with a disability, to try and help people who have not shared that unique experience to understand it, to imagine how it would feel. It feels like this. When you're going to have a baby, it's like planning a fabulous trip to Italy. You buy a bunch of guidebooks and make your wonderful plans, the Colosseum, Michelangelo's David, the gondolas of Venice. You may learn some handy phrases in Italian. It's all very exciting. After months of eager anticipation, the day finally arrives. You pack your bags and off you go. Several hours later, the plane lands. The stewardess comes in and says, "Welcome to Holland." Holland, you say? What do you mean, Holland? I signed up for Italy. It's supposed to be in Italy. All my life I've dreamed of going to Italy. But there's been a change in the flight plan. They've landed in Holland, and there you must stay. The important thing is that they haven't taken you to a horrible, disgusting, filthy place full of pestilence, famine, and disease. It's just a different place. So you must go out and buy new guidebooks, you must learn a whole new language, and you will meet a whole new group of people that you would have never met. It's just a different place. It's slower paced than Italy, less flashy than Italy. But after you've been there for a while and you catch your breath, you look around and you begin to notice that Holland has windmills, and Holland has tulips. Holland even has Rembrandts. But everyone you know is busy coming and going from Italy, and they're all still bragging about a wonderful time they had there. And for the rest of your life, you will say, yes, that's where I was supposed to go. That's what I had planned. And the pain that will never, ever, ever, ever go away because the loss of that dream is a very, very significant loss. But if you spend your time mourning the fact you didn't get to go to Italy, you may never be free to enjoy the very special, the very lovely things about Holland.
Yeah. Very good.
Yes.
That is such a beautiful piece of work, and I don't think I've heard it explained any better, really, ever. So,
yeah, and and it's the same thing with whether it's developmental disabilities, intellectual disabilities, mental illness, behavioral disorders. It describes that all perfectly. Is this where we were planning on going? Whether it's a child, whether it's an adult being diagnosed with whatever. No, we were planning on going to Italy like everybody else, but we ended up in Holland, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
Holland still has a lot of beauty to it, and there's a lot that you can see, a lot that you can experience, and honestly, the nice thing about it is you're experiencing something that not a lot of other people are experiencing. If everyone's going to Italy, they're all getting that experience, but you're getting a unique but equally beautiful experience in Holland. So just keep that in mind and be aware of that.
I will have to tell you, as we are talking today about being thankful for the things that we have and, trying to be mindful and not jealous about the things that we don't have, I will tell you, as the parent of somebody in Holland, it's really hard to not be very envious of those people in Italy, going to Italy, maintaining their lifestyle and things. Sometimes that's really, really hard So what kind of tips and tricks do you have at NAMI to support that when that's happening?
Yeah, and that is natural. Like it said, you hear all your friends, all these people talking about all the great experiences they had in Italy. And it's normal to feel, like you're missing out or envious of it or jealous of it. And that's okay, to feel that way at a certain point in time, because that is a normal human emotion, not just envious or envy, excuse me, or jealousy or anything like that. There's a lot of emotions that we have that we tend to think of as bad emotions, anger, sadness, jealousy, things like that. And they aren't inherently bad. There's a lot of times when your anger can be justified or your jealousy can be justified. So it's okay to feel those things. We shouldn't feel ashamed of feeling that way. And in a lot of cases, it's an appropriate reaction as well. But what we do want to be very mindful of is we don't want to dwell on these things. It's easy to get lost in this example, for example, I didn't get to see the Colosseum. I didn't get to see the Vatican in Rome. I didn't get to see whatever else in Italy. Pick your favorite landmark. But other people aren't getting to see the windmills in Holland, all the tulips, all the beautiful cities and architecture they have there too. So you're getting a different experience, yes, but you're getting an equally as fruitful and as beautiful an experience as well. So it's instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do. You still have a lot of different landmarks and whatever that you're able to see that others may not. So, in some cases, they may be envious or jealous of you.
That's an interesting way to look at it, Steve. It really, really is. I could only hope that somebody would be jealous of Holland. Holland is a very different place, and that's okay. It really is. It can be as beautiful as you can make it. Sometimes, though, Holland can be very lonely and isolating.
Oh, it certainly can.
So, what do you have to say about that?
Yes, we talk about the tulips in Holland, but unfortunately it is not all flowers. There might be a lot of flowers, but again, there certainly are downsides to Holland. And hopefully we don't get a lawsuit from Holland phrasing it in this way. But
sorry, Holland.
Sorry, Holland. And that's okay too. Not all of Italy is beautiful either, by all means.
True.
So that's an important thing to look at. But it's important to be realistic. And again, it's natural to feel like you're missing out on certain things or not able to experience things and feel sad or lonely or isolated because of it. And that's again, a normal human reaction, and in some cases can be healthy. But again, going back to not dwelling on these situations, always look for positives within the situation. And the other thing too is, I know it can feel really lonely being in Holland sometimes, but you're not the only one there.
Right.
So there's a lot of other people in Holland in similar situations, and they can offer any number of positive benefits to you if you know where to look through different support groups, through Mission Empower, through the school system, whatever it may be, just talking to people. So there's a lot of other people in Holland that have a lot of different benefits to you. Friendship, camaraderie, tips, tricks, etc., different resources that they may be able to provide you, and then finding some kind of comfort or solace in that unique experience that you both have being in Holland and not in Italy, can really have a positive mental benefit as well.
So, Steve, NAMI of Erie has peer-to-peer?
We do. We have peer-to-peer. That is for individuals facing mental health challenges. It is for 18 plus for peer-to-peer, and it's really important talking about finding that sense of support, friendship, camaraderie. The cool thing about peer-to-peer, it's taught by other individuals facing mental health challenges as well.
Right.
Which is a really unique aspect of the program. It's not a clinician, doctor, whoever that's a professional in the field kind of talking down at you using terminology that you may not understand. It's somebody who's been there, done that, and walked a mile in your shoes and has that really unique perspective. So that's really great about peer-to-peer.
Right, exactly. And I think that helps a lot when there's somebody that can actually empathize and sympathize with you because of experience. That makes all the difference. And like you said, when you're not talking down from a clinician, and they don't mean any harm,
No.
but to have that person that has had those like experiences can make all the difference in the world. I know that at Mission Empower, we definitely do a lot of family support and a lot of listening as a significant part of our job. So you also have another program, the Nami Basics, which can help a little bit as well. How does that system set?
Yeah, so
work?
Basics, free 6-week program, and this one is specifically geared towards parents and caregivers who have a child or someone they're caring for under the age of 18 facing mental or behavioral health challenges. And the great thing about Basics, it's taught by other parents who have been there and done that as well. And another great thing, there's so many great things about Basics. I love the program. But with that as well, because a lot of the participants, their child has been recently or newly diagnosed, they're new to this entire world. They're new to Holland, per se. So you're finding people who are kind of entering this world at the same time, and it gives you a real strong sense of, a support system, other people that are kind of going through this for the first time as well. But the great thing about it is you have those parent facilitators.
The tour guide.
Yes, who are your tour guide. So it is a guided tour of Holland, which is great.
That's awesome. So we are talking again, it's November, and we had a gigantic election yesterday. And half of the people in the United States are going to be very thankful, and the other half are not going to be thankful. And there's a lot of stress around that, believe it or not. So let's talk about being thankful for the things that we have. How can we help somebody really be mindful about those things during this? Because we're starting to go into the holiday season where people do tend to get a lot of depression and anxiety because they want to get the best toys for their loved ones. They want to get the best gifts and they can't, or they can't figure out how they're going to make it happen. How do we show them how to, or teach or guide how to be thankful about their situation? Because it could be worse. But we want to talk about the bad. We want to talk about how do we emphasize the good?
Yeah. And again, getting into the holiday season, it's great, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. It's so easy for us to focus on what we don't have. But other things we can do, it's as simple as flipping that around. Let's focus on what we do have. And, immediately, you may not be able to name 4, 5, 6, 7 things that you're thankful for off the top of your head, and that's fine. But take a few minutes and think about it. Maybe write them down and focus on, hey, I have this. I have, I have a family. I have a home. I have, whatever it is that you may enjoy doing. Things that bring your family closer together. So writing down, a couple things a day for the month of November, or even writing out the alphabet and coming up with something that you have that you're thankful for that starts with A, B, C, and so on. And odds are, it might be hard at first, and it might be hard to get like an X or a Z or things like that, but that's okay. But if we really sit down and think about it, most people will be able to come up with something for every letter. And it does require a little bit of thought, it does require a little bit of effort, but after completing that exercise, you're going to feel a lot better about yourself, and you're going to be more aware of what you have, and in a lot of cases really surprised by how much you have too. So it's a positive development too.
That would be an excellent activity to do this November with your children, is do the alphabet one day, 26 letters, 26 days. You can go 26 days out, and then you can review that later on at a different point in time. If you put it all like in a little jar or something, and then, take that time when you have it, or they're having a bad day and they are feeling less than thankful for things, to pull that out and remind them of what they really do cherish. So that has to be a difficult thing for anybody to think that they don't have enough, or they're not thankful for the things that they have. So I really like that activity. What are some other things that you can think of? Do you have anything else that you can think of?
Yeah. Just time for, and this one's much easier than sitting down and thinking of 26 things, but just sitting down and taking some time for daily reflection, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, having that peace and quiet, maybe having a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever. A beautiful day like this, just enjoying nature, or, whatever it may be, taking a few minutes to even just focus on a piece of art, for example, really puts us in the, provides a lot of mindfulness, really a sense of calming, and putting you at ease. So again, just taking a few minutes, whether it's every day, a couple times a week, whenever you can, but carving out a little bit of time for that, to just kind of reset your mind, taking yourself out of our busy mindset, because our mind, especially with work and kids and everything like that, a lot of our minds are buzzing quite a bit. So kind of slowing that down can really help us feel a lot better about ourselves.
Absolutely. And another thing you can do with your children as you are tucking them into bed or saying goodnight is taking those extra 5 minutes and asking them, so what was your favorite thing about today? Or what were you thankful for today? And starting to lead them into that mindfulness so that hopefully when it's repetitive time and time and time again, that you are training their mindset to find those positive things. And then maybe during the day, they're like, oh, I'm going to save that for mom later because she's going to ask. So, or their caregiver. I think it's really important as a society, we are very competitive.
Oh, yes, we are.
And so I don't think that we are positive mindset driven, unfortunately. So what are things that you think we can do to change that in society? That's just hard.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
It really, really is.
Yeah, and it goes back to this, is we are very competitive as a society, like you said. Keeping up with the Joneses type mentality, especially when it comes to the holidays and Christmas, and kids, and part of this is societal. We're going to start seeing the Christmas ads with the hot new toys or Xbox or PlayStation, or whatever. And, our families, our kids, they're going to be talking about it at school. They're going to be talking about it amongst their friends. Everybody's going to want it because it's going to make them the cool kid and that sort of thing. And, that's a cultural thing here.
Yes.
So, obviously one person can't change that. We can't change that individually. But what we can do is work to change it amongst ourselves, within our family groups, within our social circles, maybe be a little bit less, focused on that, focusing more on making the holidays again about being together with family, focusing on family activities, fun things that you can do together, whether it's, and again, we're getting into winter, but family afternoon spent hiking in Asbury Woods, for example. And you can have a lot of fun there. Maybe building a snowman together in the yard, things like that. That can really build just a sense of togetherness, bring the family closer together. And during that time too, your child isn't going to be focused on maybe they didn't get the latest thing. And going back to your point, later that day when you ask them, at bedtime, what are you thankful for today? One of the things they'll probably say is, hey, we built that snowman together. We took that walk. And it was fun. And had hot cocoa after, things like that.
I guarantee you they're going to remember those things 3 months after Christmas, more so than getting A, B, and C toy. Yeah. I also know that a lot of teachers I have spoken to, and I know you've seen it on the internet, say, please make it so those big, gigantic gifts, like a PlayStation that's over $600 right now, the new one, aren't from Santa Claus. Make that from you. Make the basics from Santa Claus, because what happens is when they go to school and little Johnny's parents have been laid off because of COVID and they couldn't afford the $600 Xbox, little Johnny's wondering what he did wrong, that Bobby got an Xbox and little Johnny didn't. They don't understand that. Like, was I a bad child? What could I have done differently? I mean, that's kids' mentality. So we can be mindful as adults and share that and make that a little bit easier on the youth, because we want our children to feel as loved and supported as they need to be. And then that helps a parent in need be very thankful of the parent that could provide what they couldn't, make it a little bit easier. So it's about being thankful for one another and appreciating each other, and not being, creating hardship or jealousy over a toy at Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great point, because, and then, to your point there, the kid begins wondering, why didn't Santa bring me this when Santa brought Timmy that one? And was I bad? Did I do something wrong? That sort of thing. So really, it's helping other families in need, and it's just a really small gesture that anyone can do. So and partially as well, the child that does receive the Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, he does know that it's coming from his parents, which is great as well.
Right. Absolutely.
My parents had to work for this, and hey, my parents got this for me, not Santa, when they go back into the school setting. So then it does prevent the child, the other, maybe not as fortunate child whose parents are laid off or whatever it may be, from being, wondering that and not asking, some difficult questions at home.
Right, because I assure you, he doesn't want to come across as not being thankful. He's just not understanding, and I've heard it from more than one source that would be so beneficial. So, we've talked about being mindful before bedtime. We've talked about what we can do as far as doing activities. I know that there will be so many things, I hope, even though we have COVID, outside to do this winter. I know Presque Isle has amazing snowshoeing and things there. There is the Nami Basics, there is the Nami peer-to-peer, there is Calling Mission Empower, and learning about your rights and responsibilities and being an advocate, which helps you be empowered, and that helps you be very thankful because now you know your rights and responsibilities. So what else can we do in November as far as being thankful and not jealous and things? Because Holland, what they say right in there, your life is never, ever, 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 ever going to be how you wanted it to be. Yeah. They are very explicit with that. What else can we do? Anything else?
Especially during this time, volunteering is great for our own mental health. These two organizations love volunteers. But there are any
always accepting them. We're stuffing Christmas cards in 2 weeks.
But there are any number of organizations around here that are definitely worthwhile to volunteer at. Whether it's a soup kitchen or a food bank, things like that. But any number of other organizations as well that do a lot of holiday stuff for kids and the less fortunate. So even spending some time volunteering with that, and also if possible, bring your kids along for that too, because they're going to get that sense of, hey, I helped someone else out, and not to make a direct comparison, but they are going to realize that there may be others less fortunate than them. And this is not I'm better than they are or anything like that. It's just showing that, hey, there are people out there, with less than you. So let's appreciate what you do have. And that helps them feel a little bit better about what they do have, focusing on that, but also just that sense of doing something good for somebody else. And again, that's a lot of a longer lasting feeling, a lot more impactful than getting a PlayStation for Christmas.
Absolutely, and that goes back to doing that family activity. My family loves to pack shoe boxes, the little red shoe boxes. We love to go to the different churches and be able to participate in that. That is very enjoyable, and sometimes they let you put a little envelope in there and you can get mailed back from whoever it is that you sent it to. So that's really, really awesome. Please make sure that you call and ask what age level children are allowed to go and help you at a soup kitchen or things like that. There are quite frequently age restrictions for such things, but I encourage all of you to volunteer. even at Anna Shelter, pet shelters. There's Critter Camp out in the county. They're always looking for help and volunteers. But once again, making it about a tradition and your family, and really being able to show your children what they are and able to be thankful for, and that even though it's COVID and we're all locked up, we still have so much to be thankful for.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And just as an example too, I mean, if think about, what you got for Christmas last year. Do you remember? Because I don't.
I don't.
And I hope my parents don't see that. but it's different as an adult. But even thinking back to when I was a child, I don't remember specifically what I got for any given Christmas. I may know I got a toy for Christmas, but I don't remember which Christmas. There's plenty that I've forgotten about. But I can tell you any number of specific memories from family vacations that we went on, both during the holidays and not. Actually, I was at my parents' house last week, and somehow our whitewater rafting trip came up when I was about 15 years old. And we were laughing about that for so long. And my mom actually brought out a picture of it, and my sister and I were in town, and we described the picture perfectly. That's how vivid the memory is. And then my mom was like, "Oh, we have it. I'll go look at it." And we were spot on.
And it looked exactly, because you had that memory memorized in your brain.
Yes.
It's so firmly imprinted. That's awesome.
So, I mean, those memories last. What toy, what item, whatever it is that you got for Christmas, don't.
No.
So, making those memories is so much more important. And even as an adult now, that's what I'm thankful for, not what I got as a kid.
Exactly. I agree, absolutely. Although I do remember one Cabbage Patch. I got a Cabbage Patch. Remember those?
Yeah.
Because I was shocked. I was like, woo! Wow. Because, that was, people were fighting over those. It was something else.
Yeah.
So
we're dating ourselves.
Yeah, we're old. I'm old. I'm much older. So what else do we have, Mr. Steve? Here's the information about NAMI, how you can reach Steve and his team at NAMI.
Yeah, by all means, feel free to give us a call, 814-456-1773. A lot of information about our programs, what we're up to, is available on our website, namierie.org, namierie.org. Feel free to sign up for our newsletter. You can do so right on the website. We publish those monthly with what we're up to. And you can also register for our programs directly on our website as well. All of our programs, we talked about peer-to-peer and basics, but we have numerous other programs as well. All of those are offered at absolutely no cost to participants, so no financial barriers. We don't need any insurance information, nothing like that. So completely no cost to you. So, by all means, if you think you can benefit from those programs, register, and we'd love to have you in them.
And don't forget, they do have to have fundraisers to make all these wonderful programs free. In the nonprofit world, we do always have to hustle a little bit. So if you see a NAMI fundraiser, please, by all means. Do you have one coming up?
We do, actually. Next Saturday, November 14th, we are having our third annual 90s dance party. First two were great successes, but this one, obviously, in the current environment, is going to be a little bit different. So it's going to be virtual. It's going to be a party in your own home. So by all means, tickets are $7. Can be purchased by calling us, again, 814-456-1773, or you can buy a ticket online at 90sdancepartyerie.com. We have a lot of different packages too. They start at $7, they go up to $100 if you're feeling a little bit fancy. You get a lot of cool swag, a lot of fancy stuff like that as well. We've got raffles, need not be present to win, so you can buy some raffle tickets as well to support the cause, and you don't even have to be there that night. But it's going to be a great night. We've got a few surprises. There will be special appearances by Flava Flav and Cisco.
Ooh!
Yeah, I know. We got fancy. So they will be appearing. We've got a great playlist from DJ Tony B, light show. I mean, we're going to make it as cool as possible with the limitations that we have. So a few other surprises too. So again, 90sdancepartyerie.com for information on that. Tickets start at $7. We'd love to see you there.
$7, and you can have fun, and it would make a huge difference to NAMI. So what's better than that?
It would make a huge difference to us. Yeah, so by all means, please attend. Have any questions, give us a call, shoot us an email.
Excellent. So that's it from us today here at Wonderful Wednesdays with Wendy. I believe the next time we have Steve in the building, we will be talking about holiday stress.
Yes, we will. I know.
So all you moms and dads out there, you come on in and have a cup of coffee and listen to Steve and I talk about how to de-stress yourself, okay? Until then, have a great day and be thankful. Bye now.
Bye.